Hey YouTube, thanks for tuning into my channel. So in the process of doing my other videos, I came to the realization that I hadn't actually done a introduction video. So I plan on doing that now. My name is Tim. I am in my 30s. I just retired from the military and am going to be doing the Appalachian Trail in its entirety from Georgia to Maine. I'll be a northbounder. I have a little cheat sheet down here to kind of help me out. That's what I keep looking at. So that's who I am, and that's what I'm doing. This channel is built around that. That was my whole purpose of making this channel, is so my friends and family could follow me, and just other people who, like me, might be thinking about doing a through hike, so they can kind of see what I'm going through and see the way I'm approaching it, and hopefully that helps somebody. So I'm not doing this alone. I have my brother who's going to go with me, Josh. You'll see him on this channel pretty frequently. He's actually up in Georgia now, and we're going to be meeting up here in the next couple weeks in order to start off our adventure. And then also my buddy Cody, that I know from the Army. We served together. Good guy. You'll see him too. But hopefully, 3 of us start and 3 of us finish. There will be times where we separate, and that's okay. When you're doing a trail like this, you just have to remember that it's your journey. So you have to be able to be by yourself for a little while. That's the whole purpose of this vision quest, if you will. So our timeline is it's pretty flexible, but we really want to try to maximize our days as best as possible. I know Josh and Cody may have some different times that they're looking at, places they want to go and places they want to see, and that's cool. I'm trying to keep it under 120 days, which is totally doable. You can work that math out on your own. That would basically equal 17 miles a day, which, if you're walking the amount that you're going to be walking, that's totally feasible. So yeah, that's kind of our timeline. We're starting the first week of March, and we will hopefully be done between 3 and 4 months after that. It's going to be pretty tough on the families. I'm married, have kids, so it's a huge sacrifice for them. But I'm extremely grateful that they're open and willing to allow me to pursue my dream of doing this in retirement. So thank you very much. So our plan it's pretty cut and dry. So our plan is to arrive at Springer Mountain, Georgia on March the 3rd. Our old man's going to take us up there, and he's going to drop us off, and we will stay there for the vendors show March 3rd and the 4th, and then hopefully hit the trail on the 5th, and that'll be it. So I'll have a couple videos of Amicalola when we get there and the vendors show, if we're allowed to take cameras in there. I don't know why you wouldn't. It's an advertisement, so free publicity. But yeah, so that's kind of our plan. Our first kind of resupply stop will be around Neels Gap area. That'll include the approach trail, and then after that, really, it's just going to be we are where we are, and we kind of shoot from the hip. I have a couple of drops that I plan on having my wife mail. They're already prepackaged, boxed up, and ready to go. All she has to do is take them down to the post office and drop them when I tell her to drop them. So we'll kind of play that by ear, but it's looking pretty good so far. I've had a couple people hit me up just about general tips for the people who are trying to eventually or potentially do a through hike or a long distance hike for that matter. And I would say probably the biggest thing is planning. I mean, kind of goes without saying, but you have to plan, which I'm not a big planner. I'm more like fly by the seat of your pants. But the more I started getting into the idea of doing a big extended through hike, you come to the realization that you're going to need some support. You're going to need some supplies, unless you plan on going out and just living off the land and doing that. Then by all means, if that's how you're going to do it, go for it. But I will tell you, I have some experience in that, and the amount of calories that you're going to burn and the distance that you're going to want to cover in a given day does not render itself kindly to that thought process. If you think you're going to go out there, especially males, if you think you're going to go out there and burn, because you're going to be burning anywhere from 5,000 to 6,000, maybe more calories a day, because all you're going to be doing is walking up and down mountains, and that's going to hit you calorically pretty hard. And you might be able to do it for the first week or so, but then Mother Nature's going to catch up to you. So it's extremely important to plan and have an idea of where you're going to have your food, where you're going to get your food from, and your water. Now, luckily on the Appalachian Trail, there's a lot of water. But if you're doing, the Pacific Crest Trail or some of the trails out west, you're going to have to be a lot more strategic of with your plans and how you're going to do that kind of thing. The other thing is you got to plan gear-wise. I coming from a military infantry type mindset, we never cared about our weight. The more I started getting into this and looking at gear, I started looking back at my Army gear, and I was like, what the crap? These cats got me carrying a 9-pound rucksack. Like, just the bag itself weighs 9 pounds. And all my brothers out there know what I'm talking about. You don't care about light, I can recall several times Afghanistan and Iraq, my bag I carry on my back weighs 80, 90 pounds. You don't want to do that, especially if you want to enjoy yourself, okay? That's the key. You could go out there and just suck and push through, but that wouldn't be very fun. And you'd be much more prone to injury. So you have to plan. You have to plan your gear. Okay, I did a lot of research on equipment, and I've been purchasing things for about the past 2 or 3 years. And I've gotten my gear down to a really, really good point. Which, if you've seen my other videos, you'll see my gear and my packing list and kind of weight-wise what I'm looking at. And then probably the last big thing that you'll need to think about is just the logistics of the whole process. There are some stores on the Appalachian Trail along kind of close to the route, but it's not a whole bunch. So you're going to have some kind of idea of where you're going to get your food, how you're going to get there to get said food. If you're going to try and take taxis or whatever, I mean that's gonna add up, which is also a part of the logistics of it is money. I'm going into it with an idea of how much money I want to spend. I'm not gonna tell you that right now because I don't want it to fail and everybody be like, oh, I told you so. So I'm gonna keep that to myself, but I have a number in mind that I'm gonna try to stay with, and I'll have a certain amount of money that I'm going to carry on my person, and then I'll have cards and whatnot that'll provide me the ability to purchase things if need be. But you have to plan for all that stuff. They make really good resource guides now with like the AWOL, gut hook, those kind of things. Get into those books. Watch videos. I think I've watched about every video you can watch on YouTube, which is why I'm doing this. So hopefully I can help somebody else out. So that would be my big tips. Just the logistics of everything, including money, your food, your gear. If you're going to stay on the trail the whole time, But all of that planning should all come from or go towards supporting your ultimate goal. So my ultimate goal is to do this under the 4-month period, between 90 and 120 days. So with that being said, everything I think about and everything I plan for is kind of geared towards those goals. I'll have to hit a certain mile point every so often to be able to achieve what I want to achieve. So set your goals, and then once you have your goals established, go through and begin the planning that supports those goals. And I can't emphasize enough the importance of research. Sure, you can go out and wing it and fly by the seat of your pants, but if you truly want to achieve, just like anything else in life, if you want to achieve it, you have to set your goals and you have to stay focused on those goals. Which brings me to the closing of this video. I would say the big, probably most important part about any kind of endeavor like this, if you're doing anything outside of your norm, outside of your comfort zone, you have to stay focused. You have to stay focused on what you're trying to achieve. And if you get to the point where you want to quit, and you're like not physically injured, like, I mean, I get it. If you go and like your leg falls off or you die, then you have to quit. Got no choice. But if you're just sucking and you're uncomfortable and you don't like having dirt in your socks and you're like, oh my God, this is terrible, that's not when you quit. Okay. At those points in time, that's when you just have to stop, take a knee, take some breaths, maybe take a day, don't hike, just chill out, enjoy what's around you, and that is ultimately going to help you get to where you want to be and hopefully take you down the path of success. Have a support crew behind you, friends and family, some people who can call you, or you can call on them whenever you get to those points of time when you're down and out. All right. So I'm looking at my cheat sheet here, and it looks like I've covered just about everything. But hey, thanks for watching my channel. Thanks a lot for all the support. I've been getting a lot of good comments, both privately and publicly on the videos. Hopefully here soon I'll have a couple other videos non-hiker related. I make knives. I do blacksmithing. So hopefully I'll be able to get my camera out, and you guys kind of see the other part of my life. And I'm actually going to make myself a knife just for this trip. So hopefully I can get you guys included in on that. So that'd be pretty fun. But stay tuned, subscribe, like, whatever, all the other check thingies you can do on a YouTube video. But do all that and come back and see me. All right? Thanks, guys. Bye.